I guess Wild's on call for his job.
He's got something going on with the community that he's a part of, so he said that he is going to either be late or not make it.
I know one of my buddies, he works a similar kind of job. He does internet for Cox, and they told him he was on call for today because of the Super Bowl. And I was like, well, all right. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I think CP's at a Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
And then, Rathcon, he lives in the Kansas City area, so...
Oh, okay.
He's going to be kind of swamped no matter where he goes.
Right. Man, have you seen the new episodes of Invincible? Man, have you seen the new I can't hear you. Invincible? Man, have you seen the new I can't hear you. Invincible? Oh, I hear you now. Man, have you seen the...
Oh. Okay, there we go. I found the looping. No, I've been kind of waiting for... I think I'm going to wait for this whole next season to finish, and then I'm just going to binge watch it and catch up.
I thought about doing that, but I was like, man, I've already seen like previews from a couple of episodes. I was like, nope. I was like, my interest has been piqued. So I got to see it. But I mean, it's absolutely worth waiting for. I could definitely say that. To be able to watch it all at once, I mean, I definitely wish I could do that now. It's really good though.
Yeah, Netflix has kind of like spoiled us because we can just binge watch entire franchises.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest though, it is kind of it does kind of give you something to look forward to each week if you're just watching it episode by episode.
Yeah. And it also, it gives you time for, other things if you do it that way.
Yeah, true, that too. Because, I mean, those episodes are like almost an hour apiece. So I definitely spent like almost 3 hours just watching the first 3 episodes. But it was good.
All right, let's see. All right, well, let me verify that we're up and running. I think we are.
All right.
Yep, we are. Oh, I need to fix my info on Twitch. I still have the Sundays at 5, and we haven't been at 5 for a hot minute.
Yeah, so it's been a while now.
Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting that we're doing later shows now.
Oh, no, you're good. At first, I thought maybe we were going to do it earlier, and I just like forgot. I was like, I don't think we talked about that.
Nah, I try to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Oh yeah.
All right, I do believe we are good to go. You ready?
Yep, anytime.
All right, and here we go. Maybe. Oh nope, this is the button. Here we go. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Griffcast episode yada 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 yada. Mature Nerdy Podcast for Immature People, the show where we talk about any and all things nerd, from video games, comic books, movies, computers, technology, and or science. I am your host, the King Neckbeard Griffmore, and it's just me and Solps today for now at least, because people have lives that revolve around things other than this.
Well, just two-man show today.
Yeah, we got a couple of good topics, I think. I mean, we were, if anybody's was listening to the little pre-show there, you were he's talking about Invincible and how that's been going. I honestly think that with Prime's upcoming lineup this year, that they're probably going to be one of the best streaming platforms this year. It's going to be hard to beat it.
What else I got coming up?
Oh, let's see here. Let me pull it up. All right, so we got the final season of The Boys, season 5. Fallout season 2.
That's this year. Okay, nice. Damn, they came out that quick, didn't they?
Yeah, Fallout season 2.
Fallout season 2. Yeah.
Invincible season 4. Apparently, they're going to do a Mass Effect show. There's a Boys spinoff in Mexico.
Okay.
They're doing a Creed anime series, which I could give or take. The Tomb Raider series depends. The new Batman, I'm not too big on.
There's always a new Batman.
Yeah. We got Reacher season 3. The Warhammer show, which I have high hopes for, and it really needs to hit it, or it's not going to be very good, in my opinion. We got Spider-Man Noir, which apparently even Nicolas Cage is coming down and doing the voice for, like he did in Spider-Verse.
Okay.
I mean, just banger. We got Gen 5 season 2.
Damn, and all that is supposed to come out this year?
Between this year and next year, yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, that's a lot for just this year.
That's everything they have in the works. And that's not everything they have in the works. That's just everything that I hold of interest. Like apparently they've got a God of War show, the next Wheel of Time season, Secret Level season 2, which I need to finish season 1.
I wish those episodes were longer.
Yeah. Rings of Power season 3, which I'm really surprised they got a 3rd season. Has Been Hotel. I don't know what that's about.
I'm not familiar with that one.
But I mean, just banger. Apparently a new Blade Runner show.
Okay.
Which, like we talked about last week, is like, maybe we shouldn't continue banking on our nostalgia a bit anymore.
Well, I mean, I think there's always going to be some company or somebody somewhere that's going to try to bank on nostalgia.
Yeah.
As long as they do it right, as long as they do it justice, and do it, give it the quality that it deserves or whatever, then I think they can do it. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what they do.
Yeah, my dog just scared the shit out of me. I wasn't where she was in here. Because I have not seen a lineup like this from any other streaming platform.
No, that's a lot. I didn't even realize they were working on that many things.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. But yeah, so like I need to catch up on The Boys, but I'll probably wait for season 5 because I think I'm still on season 2. Fallout season 1 was fantastic, so I'm looking forward to season 2. Reacher is one of my favorite TV shows, so
definitely can't wait to see more of the Fallout show.
I'm hopefully optimistic about the Warhammer show.
Yeah, I'd have to see more on that. I haven't seen nothing on that.
Yeah, we'll have to wait till we get a little bit closer and get some teasers. Because if they left Cavill in creative control, that is going to be a money sink.
Oh yeah,
because he's going to make sure that it's.
Think so.
He's going to make sure that it's on point.
Oh yeah, he's a diehard fan himself too.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just massive things for Amazon this year, or Prime Video. I think we're gonna just plow through this, huh? All right. So as of right now, GTA 6 doesn't have plans for a PC release, but
Really?
I think that's actually a good idea. As
Really?
much
Why do you think that?
so, they're going to push to get GTA Online out as quick as possible
Oh yeah, I can see that.
because of how much of a moneymaker it was for them with GTA 5. I mean,
You think they'll wait like maybe just a month, like they did when GTA 5 very first came out?
I think it'll be closer to a year.
Really?
Yeah, just because it'll give them time to set up the back end security in their anti-hacking software,
Oh yeah.
because it's easier to hack from PC than it is from console. It's easier to mod from PC than it is from console. I'm not saying you can't do it, it's just easier to.
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, I'd say it'd probably be a year. I'm also curious to see if they stick with their plan on maintaining a $100 price point for the original game, for the core game.
Was that actually like official, or was that just a rumor?
It is a rumor that they have not.
They haven't denied it.
They haven't denied it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. As much as I hate to say it, I think most people would hate that, but would still pay it just because it's GTA.
Yeah.
I would hate it, but honestly, if I'm really thinking about it, I'd probably still pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, I won't be because like I'm not a huge GTA fan. Like I said before, the last one I played I think was San Andreas, and I still feel like that needed to be the last one I played.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad one to stop on, I guess. You know, it was definitely the best one of its time.
Yeah. I mean, hell, it was one of the best games of that year.
Oh yeah, it was. It really was.
So speaking of releasing things back and forth, Xbox is doing some interesting things now. We touched on this a little bit last week, but apparently Xbox is going all out on releasing all of their games on all platforms. They've just announced that they're going to be pushing Halo and Forza and Gears of War. They're going to start pushing those towards PlayStation.
You know, I would love to be able to play Gears of War on PlayStation, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of Xbox fans that are going to be really salty about that.
I think
Especially Halo.
Yeah, I think so too, but I think it's also going to be better for the market, only for the fact that I think Xbox is trying to get out of making consoles in general. I mean, if they
probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
If they just run Game Pass for PC, I think it's also going to depend on if they can contract out Game Pass for PlayStation like they've been trying to do for years.
Right.
But I mean, I think it's good because, like, you know, Microsoft's all of a sudden, you know, sharing is caring, and they're trying to share out the ass. But
well, I mean, they do have, you know, some pretty good IPs that are only on Xbox. I mean, it would be nice if they could, you know, kind of share some of those. But at the same time, it would be nice if Sony could share some of their properties too.
Yeah. And of course, Sony, you know, CPU is here like, but they did. They shared it with PC, which is, you know.
Yeah. But it's still like only certain things a lot of the time. It's not like literally everything.
No, it's not. And it looks like Sony's starting to back off a little bit on forced PlayStation Network ID.
Yeah.
Which is good. They're just going to, what they say they're going to do, entice people to do it. So like, hey, we'll give you all this extra bonus crap for this game if you use your PlayStation Network ID on it.
Right.
As long as there's no pay to win, I have no problems with that. You know, it's like, you know, if you're going to completely lock somebody out of an entire aspect of a game because they're not signed in, it could be kind of a problem.
Yeah, that's a little on the lame side.
Yeah. Speaking of PlayStation again, so apparently their network was down for nearly 24 hours, which
Yeah, I tried to log on the other day and it was just down for no reason.
Yeah, they haven't said why yet, but it was down longer this time than when they had that cyber attack last year.
It was like a whole day and a half.
Yeah.
I just assumed that they got hacked. That I'm sure everybody assumed that. Because it's not like it's the first time it's happened, like you just said. It's just kind of one of those things that PlayStation's a little bit known for, even though it hasn't really happened in a while. I don't remember the last time that it's happened, but it's happened enough times that we all remember it.
Yeah. Sony, Apple, they're constantly attacked and having data leaked. It happens.
Yeah.
Like at this point in time, everyone should just assume that all their data is out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as privacy. I mean, it's all out there.
It's all out there. But yeah, no, this one is kind of, they're being shady about this one because they never came out and said why it was down.
Yeah, I noticed that. Did they ever respond at all?
Nope. So that means that something bad. It wouldn't have been so suspicious if they didn't lock people out of their PlayStation accounts, period.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just PlayStation Network, it was all of Sony was down. Worldwide. It wasn't regional, it was worldwide. So you couldn't even go to like Sony.com and change your password. So yeah, it I think it's a little bit bigger than they're thinking it, or
than they're letting on.
Than they're letting on. And then well, we're just gonna fly through this. I would have known. I should have realized that with you and me, we're just gonna like rip through the topics.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Here's some general news and some feelings about things, and moving on.
Yeah. just real to the point,
Yeah. Oh, I'm too old to beat around the bush anymore. So as you can see I put in the notes, the entire thing just says fucking Nvidia.
Yeah.
So Nvidia released their 5000 series cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the 5090, which is their top of the line, big, expensive, $2,500 MSRP. So, the card that cost more than most PC builds 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Apparently, they only released like 250 in all of the USA.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like enough.
So they were sold out in about 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the other companies that manufacture the cards and have the rights to manufacture, like MSI, said, you know what, screw it. And I think they're marking up the MSRP for theirs up to $3,500. Like, if it's going to be so scarce, we may as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's usually how the market works.
Yeah. That's kind of a dick move there.
Just a little bit,
Yeah, it's just a slight 50% increase in price.
Yeah.
So
supply and demand,
I'm waiting to see what AMD does.
Yeah.
Because I've been contemplating my next build, and I'm like, I need to see what AMD does, because I've had a lot of good things happen with Radeon cards, and I think I'm going to stick with it for now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, consoles trust them for it. I mean, hell, they use Nvidia or AMD. They use AMD, both graphics cards and processors. If that tells you anything. But,
Say something.
yeah. Well, let's look and see if we can find something else to talk about, because that was all I had for today.
Yeah, we just kind of just went right through that.
Oh. Oh, well, we got a Metal Gear Solid remake coming out this year. I don't know if that's Solid or if that's which version that is.
They've made so many of those games. I haven't even played like half of them.
Yeah, I think 5 was the last one I played.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
here
heard
it is
they're
right
pretty
here.
good games.
MSI and Asus. MSI has jacked theirs up to $3,410. Asus is actually being a little bit more on the fair side and only jacking it up by about 25%. So $2,789 and $2,790, which is still ridiculous. I mean, go AMD, spend half the price and get 10% less performance.
Right.
But also have the ability to multitask. Like, so that's some things that like if you want absolute maximum frames per second for anything you're doing, go Intel with Nvidia cards. If you like to do more than just game while you're gaming, go AMD. You'll lose about 5 to 10% performance, maybe. That's overreaching, by the way.
Yeah.
In my experience, and you'll have a lot better time with it because like right now I am running all of my streaming software, my Discord. I have about 14 tabs open right now. 3 of them are playing videos. One of them is watching this stream. Like, and like my fans aren't even, I can't even hear them. They're not even starting up. Like, that's pretty solid performance. Ooh. Let's see what this is about. Oh, wow. Dark mode, what? Okay, so apparently, according to quantum physics, death isn't real.
Oh, yeah?
Let's see. Biosynthesis states that space and time are not the solid entities we perceive them to be. Yeah, we kind of understand that because, you know, if you look into string theory, you understand that it's not really solid. But anyway, there are constructs. They are constructs of our consciousness. For example, consider the famous two-slit experiment. When a particle is observed, it behaves like a particle and passes through one slit. Without observation, it acts like a wave, passing through both slits simultaneously.
I've actually seen videos on the double slit experiment within past so many months, and it is pretty interesting to see that this is apparently how things work when we're not observing them.
Yeah.
The fact that things even do work differently when we're not observing them. It's like the age-old question, like, does a tree make a noise when it falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it? I mean, obviously it does, but it's at the same time, it's like, well, I don't know, maybe does it? I mean, clearly something's around to hear it. But, I mean, it's not exactly the same thing, but it's kind of the same idea, I think. And
it really is that you're kind of onto something there because, like, there's also, it's also proven that, like, if nobody is around to see starlight doesn't exist.
Yeah, in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, without an observer, then there can be no observation, I guess, if that makes any sense. And
it kind of
sometimes
makes,
I wonder.
Kind of makes it feel more like that whole simulation thing.
Oh, what do you mean?
in the terms of like, if you think about it, like in a computer program, like when you're playing your video game, the only thing that is rendered is what your character is looking at.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
So, like,
yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, honestly, when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to think that reality is not like that. I mean, there's no way to prove that it's not like that.
Yeah.
Or at least not that we would be able to understand, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the fact that we're able to even have these ideas, I want to believe means that maybe we're on some sort of path to figuring it out, just like, you know, as a whole. But I don't know.
I think I would be more afraid to figure out the answers.
Well, you know, I think if we ever got the real answers, we probably wouldn't be very satisfied with what they are. We'd probably be pretty disappointed, actually. But then again, I don't know. Some people would just be satisfied in knowing.
They would, but at the same time,
that satisfaction would, it would dwindle. It would be this thing where it's like, oh, well, now I know. Now what else is there?
Yeah, because there would be a drastic fall in human morality if the answers to everything were out there.
People would change their ideas about everything probably pretty quick. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Sorry for those watching now. We're getting into existentialness. But I mean, it's interesting. I mean, life is a very, or not even life, just existence. Like the existence of anything is a very interesting concept when you really allow yourself to think about it. I mean, the fact that anything can exist in the first place is just kind of, I mean, some could call it amazing, some could say it's not. I mean, yeah, it's definitely neat. But it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, I guess it's just kind of what you choose to make of it. But I don't know. Trying to understand how life is the way it is and how things just operate within existence is very interesting, especially today where we live in this time where we can actually like examine things in a way that people in the past never could. Yeah.
Especially on like the quantum level. I mean, people didn't even know what quantum was like so many years ago.
Yeah, and then it was the sci-fi theory, and then it was proven to be, oh no, this is actually a thing, and then...
Yeah, but that's another interesting thing. Like, I feel like a lot of things, especially in particular, like when we were growing up, like in the 90s and whatnot, a lot of stuff that we saw on TV that was supposed to never be possible and never be true, like technological type stuff. A lot of that stuff has come true. A lot of that stuff has become reality. And it makes me wonder sometimes, is that just the way it was always meant to be? Or are we as human beings capable of predicting our own reality and then eventually making it actually come true and happen?
It makes you wonder, because can it also be like, all right, I'm going to nerd this up a bit. All right, so are you familiar at all with Warhammer 40k lore?
No, not very much. I can't say that I am.
All right, so there's one faction that is all orcs. They're called the Greenskins. You got orcs. It's orcs and goblins. That's the entire faction.
Yeah.
And their entire ability to exist is based on the fact that they believe it does.
Okay.
Now, if you think about it, everything that we have now and everything that we're observing now was thought of before it was provable.
Yeah.
So did we as a species believe something into existence?
I think it's very possible. Just based on what we can learn about being here in this reality. We can observe things like that. And I think because we can observe those things, it's not completely unreasonable to think that other things could fall into that space, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's one of those questions that, like, I mean, we can try to tell ourselves what we think the answer is, but we might not know for sure exactly the real answer.
Yeah.
But the fact that we can even come up with what we think the answer is, I think could be an indication that maybe we already know.
Possibly.
Maybe. Just an idea.
Yeah. I mean, just look at how far we've come with AI in the last couple of years.
Yeah, that was not supposed to be possible. And here we are,
I mean, we can have conversations with robots that feel like real conversations.
It is pretty interesting to have a conversation with ChatGPT. I mean, I don't use it very often, but I will use it every now and then, just for whatever. And just the fact that it can have a full-on conversation with you, and you can almost fool yourself into thinking that it really thinks and actually, like, feels stuff, even though it doesn't. But
yeah,
man, it's really convincing.
Yeah, because it can make you feel like you're just talking to somebody who's sitting on it feels like you're in a 2005 AOL chat room with somebody who's got modern day Google.
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of what it feels like. Yeah.
So it's just
someone who just has, like, all the world's knowledge just at their fingertips, and they can just tell you whatever you need to know in like a split second.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the scariest things for me, is that when it comes to AI, is how fast it can pull information, which is actually a very useful tool.
Oh yeah, beyond useful.
Just if we can make it to a point to where it doesn't have the biases of the coders, would be great.
Right.
Because a lot of times the people who manufacture these things put their own biases in them.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense, I guess. I think we would almost kind of expect that to some degree. But it is definitely something that would be nice if that wasn't, implemented.
Yeah. But it's human nature. It really is.
It is. I mean, at the end of the day, these are tools that we're creating for, what we want to use them for. And I imagine these limitations that we create on them are things that we just view as being helpful to us. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it would be really interesting to see what these machines could do without us holding them back. I mean, it could be scary to see what they do, but at the same time, it could be fucking amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we really do need to implement a safety feature.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because, 5 years ago, I would have told you Skynet is not possible. 5 minutes ago, I'll tell you that Skynet is inevitable.
Oh, yeah, it's here. It's just, it's working its way up.
Yeah. It's just crazy how fast it goes. Because I do believe there's already companies working on robots for assistance around the house.
Oh yeah, there is at least one or two companies in particular. I don't know the names of them, but I mean, if you look them up, you can find videos where they are working on household robots that are relatively cheap and cost efficient to make. Wouldn't cost you any more than, like, maybe the cheapest car that you could buy, which is still a lot of money, but for something like that, not as much money as you would think.
I think the funniest thing, though, was one of them that I saw looks like Rosie the robot from the Jetsons.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Like, not identically, but
yeah.
It's
I'm not sure if I'd be too threatened by that one, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, but like the ones out of like Black Mirror, maybe a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, that's a little different. Yeah, it's a little too real.
Well, that's all I got for tonight. You got anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, not really in particular. Nothing that I had prepared for.
Yeah. Oh, here's a little something interesting. I'm kind of against this because okay, so I'll give context and then I'll say why I'm against it. So a Connecticut lawmaker wants to make theaters have a timer so you know how long you have before the actual movie starts.
I mean,
I'm a little against this because I find that there's an etiquette you need to maintain while going to the theater.
Right.
Like, show up 15 minutes early, get your ticket, get your popcorn, get your drinks, use the restroom, then go sit down and watch the movie.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention anyone who's a regular moviegoer should, understand that, like, that's kind of like what previews are for, unless you just want to be that person to watch all the previews. I mean, that's like at least a solid 15 minutes to get yourself prepared.
Yeah. I mean, and typically, like, I typically try to show up 15 minutes before previews because I like to watch the previews. Or at least I used to.
If I'm going to watch the movies, yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, who was it? Dane Cook had a good bit on that about 15 years ago when he was relevant.
Right, yeah, it's been forever since I even heard that guy's name.
Yeah, it's back before he tried to make movies.
Right.
But he had a good bit on it, and it was, you sit there and you critique the movies coming out, and that's half the fun of previews to me.
Yeah, it can be.
Like because I've gone to the theater alone before because, I was either bored that day or I really wanted to go see that movie and nobody was available. And it's like, hey, this is the moment I got. But most of the time when you go to a movie, though, you're going with somebody you want to see the movie with. And you're going to sit there and talk about what's coming out and what looks good before you watch the movie you came to see.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That's just, I don't know if that's just me or not, but I don't know. There's an etiquette and a process to it, and I don't need a timer on the screen to tell me how long before the movie starts.
I didn't even realize. I mean, is that something that they're doing, or that's something that they're going to do? Like,
that's something that he's trying to make happen.
Okay, it seems like a very odd thing to try and push for with all the. All the issues that we could focus on. I feel like that's not really a huge one, but
I don't know. Like there was there used to be something back in I want to say like around 2010 that I really enjoyed is they had a little segment called like 20 Till. Mm-hmm. And it started 20 minutes before the movie, and it was 20 minutes of random previews, trivia. Oh
yeah, I remember that actually.
Yeah, and then like sometimes they would do like interviews with the actors and stuff like that, and it was pretty cool to watch that stuff. And then it wasn't, and then it went away.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Like maybe in the early 2000s or something, doing that stuff. Like the few times that I would go to the theater for the few movies that I would actually try to watch.
Back in the early days of Marvel and Lord of the Rings and I'm starting to feel old. It was funny. It's like. There's this guy I play this game with, and he keeps going on about how long he's played the game. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I was playing the game 15 years before you. Oh, God.
Yeah, it really puts things into perspective.
It's like I was technically a pro-level judge when you started playing. And I was 19 at the time.
Yeah.
So more than 20 years ago. Yeah.
Time flies.
I'm starting to feel like a sim, and the player has the game on fast forward.
Right. Well, it feels that way the older you get.
Yeah.
Or at least it seems to anyway.
I think part of that has to deal with the fact that when you're young, everything is new and exciting, and as you get older, you've seen it all.
Yeah, that's definitely a very accurate way to put it, for sure.
So you just kind of like blow off everything and just go to the next day. I don't know. Perspectives. Weird things. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thank you everyone for coming and watching. We hope you had a good time.